So I got started on making more cocoa. I used rainwater to make this cocoa this time. And I got my buckets out because we're expecting 2 more days of rain this week. Wednesday and Thursday, I believe. And then Friday is Valentine's Day. I accidentally almost drowned my worms, my Shaylas. They were crawling out. So I have 3 worm farms. Well, actually, I have worm bins and then I have worm farms. And I'll talk about the difference later. But that's jackfruit seeds. So those are worm farms, and one got hit heavy with the rain. So when I cracked it open, usually when I crack it open, you'll see stuff like this happen, right? They're just eating through the food. When I had to empty this one because they were drowning. Worms don't like water like that. They will escape and run for their lives. So I put them in this bin, something drier, no holes on top, gave them a new home. They're great now. And then what I did get from all the worm bins is gallons of worm tea. There is so much goodness in here that I'm going to spread throughout because it's a little concentrated, but I'm so excited and so grateful for this. And I'll show you where my garden's at real quick. Peach tree, it's pretty bald-headed right now. Passion fruit vine that a squirrel dropped the seed years ago and it took over my yard. Now I have passion fruit that grows all the way up there. I don't know if you can see it. And the squirrels take one bite and they're like, oh, I hate this. And then they drop it on the floor. I pick up passion fruit every single day. And then got coleus. I'm only gonna let nasturtiums take over 1/4 of the yard. One, they're edible. They taste like horseradish. And also the blooms are gorgeous and the seeds are super easy to collect. Then nasturtiums could take over here. So it's nasturtiums and potatoes. Nasturtiums and potatoes. Then we have the plants left over from the last giveaway. I spent $100 on those plants and I gave away about half of them. So I have strawberries and mustards for my own collection. Then beans. I know it's early for beans, but they went crazy anyways. The scarlet runners that I started in my yard last year. And the peas have not been doing good at all. And I've had more growers tell me that peas are not doing well for them. So I added an Oya and some beets. You always want, well, I do beets with seed by like direct sowing. And direct sowing is when you add the seed directly to the spot. You don't make a plug or a seedling. And then I did beets, and I'm gonna do some purple radishes because radishes are my favorite. That is pineapple sage. Then we have onions. And then these radish greens went crazy. They're pretty tubey though. Yeah, it's mostly like a tube and a stalk, so I'm not gonna get much of a radish because they're all too close together. By the way, space out your plants. It's called thinning, but I do grow this for the radish greens. And then the Mad Hatters, I need to cut back. And so I diluted the worm doo-doo, because that's what this is. The worms eat through the food and then they mess it out. So I diluted it because it's very strong. And then we add some cabbages. You can see how rich it is. Wow, look at those radish greens. I love night gardening. One, because the water doesn't evaporate as fast. Also, the streets are a little bit quieter in LA. Just saying, I guess. I don't know. Look at this potato. So I'm just gonna put a little bit. Hello, coleus. Hello, fennel. I'm growing fennel and dill as tall as I can, as high as I can for the swallowtail butterflies. Those are one of my favorite butterflies. But it's funny, as soon as I discover something and get to know something and like hyper focus on it, then it becomes my favorite. But when I'm asked on the spot what your favorite is, I blink out. But listen to this. Should I do an ASMR channel? And then the collards came back in. Woo! These are tree collards though. The collards came back in, and I do make cuttings. I began sorting all the seeds in my room. I was gonna do it outside. I also had to take a ham break. So this took me about an hour, and I'm just gonna do some of the seeds. It's a lot. I have 6 bags in total. I went through 2, and this was all from the APD 360 DG event. This is from Spillato. I actually did a spicy challenge. Actually, that company went out of business. Did you know that? The Hot Chip Challenge, they went out of business. So, oh, you know why? I have a theory. I did the Hot Chip Challenge, which I completed, but I did it properly because I learned from professionals. No shade to that kid. Oh my God, I just said that all backwards. There's a lot of people that did the hot chip challenge and didn't do it the right way. I didn't do it the right way the first time I did it. I researched how to do it right from competitive eaters and also spicy challenge heat experts. Yes, there's such a thing. And that's how I got this hoodie. It does say sleep deprived. I got this when I had the worst insomnia in my life. I had insomnia for a year, y'all. And you know what healed insomnia? Stress management and CBD. So if you have a problem with CBD, go to hell. Speaking of going to hell, so I just want to share a couple notes that I made. It is my first month anniversary of being on YouTube. Even though I've had YouTube for 5 years, it pays to get the lighting and the equipment. Now, it doesn't have to be super professional. My setup, which I've done in another video, or I had old videos, I'll show you my setup. It is really simple. The only thing I don't have is a microphone. I bought microphones for my old camera crew, somebody I no longer work with, and somebody I still work with. Professional microphones are very expensive. The cheapest you can get are the clip-ins, and those are only, a good one will be like 29 bucks. And that's the one that attaches to your phone and your camera. The professional one, that one I think was $200 or $150, and that attached. I don't know cameras. I don't know equipment. I know NPK ratios. I know bioremediation. I know Bokashi and heated piles. I know that. When somebody's like, this is a 500 mil, I'm thinking of liquid. I don't know anything about lenses. I don't even know anything about audio equipment. My stuff is very basic, okay? But I'm just talking about my experience as, I guess you would say, somebody that posts online. Because as a content creator, I don't even consider myself a content creator. I don't have any, I have no contracts with anybody. That's when I would consider that. And I definitely don't consider myself an influencer. So, 1, invest in equipment. 2, it has to be high quality. I've done videos, like I have an affinity for Y2K lo-fi VHS style stuff. It's very nostalgic for me. If you post that now, a lot of people won't watch it. I assure you, you will lose a huge chunk of your audience. And I talked about before the difference between audience and community. I want an audience on YouTube that turns into a community, because an audience gets you paid. A community pulls up, okay? Another thing is, of course, be yourself, because anybody can learn anything from anybody, you know what I'm saying? But all of us don't learn from one person. That's from a reason. And also, I'm not for everyone. I'm not here to really be liked or even really understood. I'm here to be respected, though. I'm not going to be disrespected, but I don't demand respect. I earn people's respect, and I hope it's given to me off top. Another thing is, I'm not here to meet anybody's expectations. A lot of people said, oh, you should do this and do that. You do it. Oh, you should teach gardening and make videos and be on Pinterest. You do it. I don't like being on those apps. I didn't like doing it when I first started. I like being outside, and then outside has been taken away for one reason or not. It's a rainy day, that's why I'm not outside today. But I like teaching people. I like being in person. I don't like Pinterest. I'm sorry. I don't like Pinterest. It's not for me. It's for a lot of other great people that are doing amazing things. I'm not a Pinterest girly. If I do become one down the line, it's because I let cottagecore take over my life. And if it has taken over my life and I'm in a house with a beautiful woman, leave me alone, because I'm where I want to be. Okay? No lavender marriage for me. No, we're really getting married, my dear. Okay. And boundaries. Boundaries are to be upheld by the individual. If you're just telling people what to do and you're not doing it yourself, those are rules. Those are not boundaries. Find your boundaries within parasocial relationships is one thing I really focused on last year. I used to do big purges in my social media account, people that weren't engaging back, people that I did want to have connections, and then I was like, wait a minute, I don't know these people. So I had to really set boundaries with myself and my emotional anticipation to create connections and relationships with these people, because that's how I am as a person. So I had to maintain boundaries online and offline and in these streets. And because of that, people got mad at me. They're like, why do you unfollow me? I don't know you. And you don't interact with me, not my content. When I message you, you leave me on red. When I comment, you say nothing back, and you've been doing that for months. I don't know you. You want followers and fans, when I wanted to make friends in the beginning. Now I don't want to do that so much because people are fucking crazy. But, boundaries. And also boundaries with your capacity. Let's be realistic here. Cranking out stuff 24/7 is not realistic. You know, and even reaping what you sow has no timestamp on it. You know what I'm saying? There's no limit, but also it might not happen for a while. Those are boundaries. So that's just some of the stuff that I learned, especially being on YouTube for a month. And also, there is so much malarkey and gobbledygook. Like, I also watch content. I consume a lot of content from the apps that I use. So when I was making money on TikTok, I was consuming TikTok predominantly. I'm glad I'm off that app. My content's still there, but I don't have the app anymore. We can't get it back, y'all. But I will say that being on YouTube, I realize there's so many different types of content that does very well. It's not just talking head. And there's a lot less drama on YouTube than on TikTok and on Instagram, I noticed. Another thing is that because of that, I consume because I want to know what y'all want. I want to see what's going on. And also people have formed community on YouTube, right? Beyond message boards in the comment section. So with that being said, there's a lot of gardening malarkey out there and gobbledygook. These grafting videos are nonsense. And also the people that make the most, like they get the most views are people who are telling you 10 mistakes you make when you make your YouTube page. That's rage bait. Oh, here's the trick on how to get 10K subscribers in 20 days. That's rage bait. They are gaslighting you. They get 360K views and you still barely get 100 subscribers. I called it out on YouTube. See, but YouTube gets it to it like that. I don't know about YouTube. I think YouTube might be a little bit slower, but I'm here for it. Here are all the seeds. Like, I literally cannot hear y'all over all this money. This is all going to the Altadena seed library. I am so excited. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for putting me up on game. Thank you for letting me put y'all up on game. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Just because it should have never stopped in the beginning. We should have been growing our own stuff. We should have been helping each other out. We should have been keeping this in our homes. Holler at me if you want to get involved. Holler at me if you want to continue to learn how to grow for fun and for free. I still have a free school going on. The signups for that started February 4th. That's going to launch in spring. 360. Oh my God, no, I'm not going to do that. 36 free courses, free, on all things the plant plug, okay? So the ReGROWLA project is a 5-year commitment to the revegetation and hopefully as free as possible education to help those that have been affected by the fires. We are starting from South Central and neighboring neighborhoods and making our way north. If you want to know what's going on, because a lot of people are not really clear on what's happening, I don't have a problem with repeating myself as long as you ask politely. We're starting out here because it's not safe to grow stuff directly in the ground out there yet. That's it. It's real simple. Okay? So check in with your neighbor, check in with yourself, check in with a loved one. And also these donation centers, Bigger Than Us, is consistently having volunteer opportunities. I will link them in this video. I will link them in this video. Please, community care is continuous. Mutual aid is forever. Everything that's good is not monetary. Pull up and show out consistently. Do things altruistically. Community work is not a come up. Listen to me before I die. Don't quote me when I'm dead. I'm here now. You can ask me questions and I'll respond. Don't wait for my ghost to come and spook you on Christmas Eve so you get your life together. Do something about it now.